Hey everyone! In this episode of Cinematography Database Show, we're not breaking down the cinema. Hey everyone! In this episode of Cinematography Database Show, we're going to be breaking down the cinematography of nothing. I am very sorry to tell you that the Cinematography Database Show, as you know it, is officially canceled. And I thought I would make this video to help explain what was going on so that you weren't left in the dark about that. And I think I've already been talking on different forums online about this a little bit, mostly on Facebook groups that I'm in. And what happened is that a couple of my videos got flagged for copyright infringement. And so for those of you that don't know, when that happens, because they were legit claims, I was contacted off channel. They contacted my agent, actually, my cinematography agent. What happens is that the YouTube channel gets flagged and I get a strike. And what that does is that eliminates my ability to upload videos over 15 minutes. I can't monetize them, not that I was, but there's a whole bunch of things you can't do once you get a copyright infringement strike. I also had a couple videos, especially the music videos, I think we talked about this earlier, that the music videos with even like a tiny clip of footage from the video or music, those were getting content ID blocked, so certain countries couldn't see them. So my channel was already a little bit tumultuous with YouTube. YouTube was already like, hey, we're watching you, like you're kind of doing stuff that other people aren't happy with. And the copyright infringement really hit it home for me. So what's happening now is that I have to take down, and I've already taken down about half of the videos. And very soon I'm going to have to take them all down. So if you want to watch them, go watch them now. I basically cannot produce content moving forward that has any copyrighted material in it. I can't use clips from feature films, stills. I don't even feel comfortable using the B-roll, even though that's sort of public. I do have a relationship with a company that gives that footage to me, and I'm technically allowed to use for journalism, though it feels iffy to me. What else is happening with the blog? If you've ever been to my website, I started this process as a blogger writing articles. So I used to do these kind of video breakdowns, but in blog form. I would just take stills and I would write about it. And I started a podcast that's still going strong. It's actually going to be one of my stronger vehicles as I transition this YouTube video. But what's happening now is that I am no longer just a blogger doing this for fun. And I am running a company. Cinematography Database is a company. And my main product is Cine Designer, which is a legitimate product. I have lawyers, accountants, all that stuff. And what's happened is that my past blogging and this YouTube channel has actually become a liability to me legally because I'm getting takedown notices, and because it's directly linked to my software company, essentially, that is a huge problem for me moving forward. I cannot produce content that has any copyrighted material in it at all. And you'll see that on the blog now, that anything that had stuff that I wasn't getting explicit permission to use from the copyright holders, I have taken that down, which is about 70% of my old blog, which is hurts to do. It hurt me a lot to do this, but had to do that. You'll see that I have interviewed Jeff Cronenweth. I've interviewed Sharon Callahan, pretty big people in the previous industry. I have direct, explicit permission from Disney, from Warner Brothers, from those companies to use those stills, to use those clips. And that's the only kind of content I can produce moving forward. Luckily, I have those connections now. I can make that happen. But the old Cinematography Database Show format just doesn't work legally. I cannot keep producing that. I think that's unfortunate, but I can't. And that's the decision I've made. And I wanted to let you know, and I'm just looking at my notes here. I wanted to thank you because I remember the first episode I did of Cinematography Database Show, actually kind of technically the second one, but when I did Hotline Bling, that was the first one. I was standing at my desk, and that's the way I used to record video courses when I was making those, and it was terrible, and I was really bad, and I'd never done anything like this, but because of you watching, because of your comments, because of your helpful criticism, some not helpful, it's all been great. And you and I have evolved this show to the point where we were doing Ex Machina, which is, sorry to say, the final episode of Cinematography Database Show, that format. That's the final episode. I'm not going to do any more of those. And I wanted to thank you for being part of that kind of 4-month, 5-month journey where I was producing one of those a week. Towards the end, those shows were taking 2 days to put together. That's how long it takes to put those together. It seems like it's just might be somewhat simple. It took 2 days each to do the research, get the stills, do the 3D. It's a lot of work. And I don't regret any of it, even though it's all eventually going to disappear from the internet forever. So again, go watch those videos if you have been waiting Now is the time. But thank you for being a part of this. Cinematography Database Show has been a lot of fun for me. I've learned so much as a person, as a YouTuber, as like an educator, as a business person. I've learned, and I feel like I've grown in 4 months online in front of you guys. It's been amazing. Thank you for being a part of it. And yeah, there's no next episode, so it's been great. I'll see you. Okay, so good news. I'm officially uncanceling the Cinematography Database Show. Now, I did mean it when I say that I am not going to be, on my show, you will likely, unless I get direct permission from the studios, which I can because I have some connections, I can't make those weekly. It takes a long time to make I have to produce the show that to them. They have to approve it. It's a whole thing. But the show is uncanceled, and what I'm going to tell you now is what I'm going to be doing with the channel moving forward. I have no plans of canceling my YouTube channel and making content. This is part of my life now. It's obviously part of my company as far as marketing. So what are we doing with Cinematography Database Show moving forward? First of all, it's probably not going to be called Cinematography Database Show. That was really a format. I want to honor what that was, and it's going to be different now. So moving forward, when I produce video content, it's going to be, the first part is going to be really similar to the tea breaks. So the tea breaks where I would take a concept from the breakdown we were doing, and I would illustrate it in 3D using Cine Designer and my lovely oration and voiceover. And I would try to illustrate and teach a cinematography topic. I 100% plan on doing those videos, and they're going to be shorter. They're going to be much shorter, mostly because my channel is flagged and I can't produce videos over 15 minutes. Oh man, so maybe there'll be multi-parts if they're longer. That's the hack around that. But shorter videos, more condensed. We'll take a high-level concept like horizon or color theory, and I'm going to illustrate that to you using the things that I can do, that I can produce in Photoshop or using Cine Designer. I feel like I can do a pretty good job of illustrating that stuff. It can be high-level concepts or it can be technical, like how do we use a chimera? How do we use a lantern? How do we use a space balloon? How does a techno crane work? Stuff like that I can break down in 3D now. I've evolved to the point where I can use Cine Designer to teach very well. I'm going to be producing content like that. So your job, if you have questions or topics about high-level cinematography, technical things, let me know in the comments to this episode, and I will be keeping track of those and producing short, editable, bite-sized video tutorials on cinematography. I think the best that the world has possibly ever seen. That's my goal. That's my sell. Other than that, I run a podcast called Modern Cinematographer. Give it a Google. And on that podcast, I usually keep it separate from the YouTube channel. I don't know why. It's more about my story of being a cinematographer and being a freelance cinematographer in New York City for 10 years. And I talk about that experience. I interview other DPs. And it's basically just a look at the life of a freelance DP. Tips, the things that I've learned, things that I've screwed up. And we talk to other DPs about that too. I'm going to be bringing some of that here. So it's like 5 tips to survive as a freelance DP in New York City using Instagram. Something like that. If you have suggestions on stuff like that and you listen to the podcast, let me know. That content's 100% coming here. Again, because I own that content. That's just me talking. It's my advice. I can put that out in the world and I can make sure that it's always going to be there as a resource for you. The last thing I'm going to do, and let me know how interesting this is to you, is possibly vlogging. I know everyone's vlogging. It's something that I'm probably going to start doing, and the vlogging will probably be about running Cinematography Database. So things I'm doing with other companies and just stuff like that. I don't really know how Casey Neistat I'm going to get on that whole thing. But yeah, a little bit of vlogging. And the last thing is I'm going to be doing more future collaborations with other YouTubers and cinematography filmmaking influencers. I have basically already connected with every single major YouTuber that's in the film space and in the space online. I've been running Cinematography Database for a while. I've been in the industry for 10, 11 years, so I know a lot of people. So we're going to do more collaboration stuff with original content. Like I'll go to their place, I'll film an episode, we'll talk about stuff, more original content. So please do let me know what of this sounds interesting to you. I definitely am moving forward with like the tea breaks. The tea breaks is going to be basically how I can talk about the cinematography of a movie without showing it. And I know that is a letdown. Trust me, this hits me harder than I think it hits anybody else watching this. But I am committed to making it work and having it be 100% mine. And the reason is, you can talk to me about fair use and how this is fair use. You can talk to me about all the things that like maybe are on my side that I'm able to produce the old type of content. Fair use laws change and copyright laws change. So even if they let me use this, even if I emailed them, called them, they gave me written permission to use that footage, in 5 years or 5 seconds later, they could change it and say that, you know what, now you can't. That is their prerogative. That is their right. And I don't want to put in the time, my personal time, your time, to produce content that will eventually be able to get taken down at some whim of someone who owns the copyright. That's their deal. I actually was going to tell you what video I got flagged from. I'm not going to do that. I feel like that's the higher road to not flame the company that's directly responsible for this right now. But overall, I'm very happy about the journey we've had together, and I'm going to continue it. It's just going to be in a different way. So no episode this week. I don't know how long it's going to take me to kind of land from this change. I really had based my life around this. Like I said, it took 2 days. I would take 2 days to produce these shows. And I've been doing it for months. I told my family, my friends, it's just like, we're producing the show, that's it. So things are a little bit different now. My schedule is just completely changed. My life is completely different because of this. It'll be a little bit before I can get this all rolling. Please let me know in the comments, again, the things we talked about. What would you want to hear as far as content, high level or technical? I can break those down. And anything else like that. I can still do the cinematography of movies, but it's going to be much different. It's going to be like the tea break only. So I'll look for a high level concept, some sort of technique that I saw in it that looked really interesting, and I'll be recreating it because, again, I need to own 100% of the visuals so that when I create content, this is the whole point of this. When I create content, I want it to be on the internet forever. That's what YouTube was. I thought I would put these videos out and they would be on the internet forever. They're already being taken down. So I'm going to go ahead of them and I'm going to take them down myself. You have a little bit of time to go watch them. As I move forward, my goal is to produce content that will live on the internet as long as people want to watch it, it will be there. And I feel bad that I've created stuff that people might want to watch that won't be available. I feel bad about that. I don't consider it a waste of time. It's allowed me to evolve to this point. My platform, the following, you guys, everything has gotten here. So I'm happy about that. But that is the update, the state of the union of the cinematography database. And thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for watching. We're not over, but we're taking a tiny break as we gather our resources. And I'm talking with a bunch of other YouTubers about what to do moving forward, how to really evolve what we're doing so we make sure that we own this. If YouTube honestly becomes an unviable platform for us, the cinematographers who want to share our knowledge, a lot of it just purely free, just for building followings, that sort of thing, we will move platforms, and I will personally use the money that I have from my company to build a platform that is appropriate for this very thing. But for now, I really like YouTube. I really like you guys. So that's the update. And I will see you on the next episode, whenever that may be. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.